What's up, Internet? Welcome to Pop Culture Parenting, the retrospective podcast where we as Black fathers talk about the media that we consumed as young little boys. And now that we are fathers, we're going to share with our young ones. I'm one of your hosts, Mark, a.k.a. MF Jones.
I'm Niels R.Y., a.k.a. Piccolo's nephew.
Nice.
That's my uncle.
And this is Pop Culture Parenting, and we are going to talk about one of the greatest shows maybe of all time. Not animes, but Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z. Dragon, come get Dragon Ball Z. Dragon, Ball Z. Dragon, come get Dragon Ball Z. Dragon, come get
one of the highest grossing pieces of entertainment ever, because people don't want it to end and have rioted and sent angry emails, texts, messages, and other things that I don't even realize because, this is a whole nother country. But yeah, they don't want this show to end. It's ridiculously popular. And
it's so popular that we might have to fact check this. I think Goku is the official mascot for the next Olympics in Japan.
Dang, he beat out Mario?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it makes sense though, right?
It kind of does.
Yeah,
it kind of does.
Hey, you want to fight? I'm Goku.
They're obsessed over this dude. And so are we.
Yeah.
It's just to keep it 100.
It's kind of sad.
Big.
But we're gonna dwell into what we feel about this show, what it meant to us growing up, means to us now, favorite characters, blah blah blah, so on, so on. But, Nils, why don't you give us a little history?
I'll give a very quick history because we literally could have
a podcast
just on the history of Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon.
Bro, hold on. We ain't even ready for that yet. Quick history. Dragon Ball, the series, or Dragon Ball Z first aired in 1989 in Japan. In April 1989, so you guessed it, we are in the 30th anniversary of this amazing show. And it first aired in America in 1996.
Dragon Ball Z is a millennial.
Dragon Ball Z is a millennial.
I
wonder what kind of millennial. If Dragon Ball Z was like a kind of millennial, would he be a hipster? He wouldn't be a hipster.
Nah, maybe. No.
He'd probably do Molly Water.
Avocado
and
toast. rave avocado toast
and be in exceptional health.
Yeah, he'd be in CrossFit.
Yeah, doing hard drugs afterwards.
Cardio.
So it first aired in Japan in 1989. First aired in America in 1996. But the time that people actually think about and actually remember is when it first aired on Cartoon Network on the Toonami block in 1998.
And that, man, for real, and I was doing some research. There's we basically owe everything to like Mike Lazlo and Ted Turner.
Oh, absolutely.
There would be first there'd be no Cartoon Network without Ted Turner. And then he gave them the go-ahead to do like an action anime block, and then Toonami spun into it was first called Super
Adventures.
Super Adventures, and then it was called like Power
Afternoon Adventures. And what I remember it as, which is like Power Zone. That's what I was watching. I remember Power Zone, and then all of a sudden it was like one afternoon. It was like, oh, there's Motar.
Yeah.
Huh, is it like midnight? What's going on?
Is these some dope beats playing in the back?
Yeah, it's like, can you describe the Toonami beats? Is it hip hop, jazz?
So
Like, what is the Toonami beat?
It's like hip hop. I think it's called like trip hop. Later Toonami, Adult Swim, but I know like first couple years Moltar, Tom 1.0. Man, I think the guy who made the beats, his name is like Joe. Oh my goodness, I had the CD. It was called Deep Space
You
Bass.
would have the CD.
Dog, you don't. Internet kids, if you are listening, finding Deep Space Bass before Amazon was so hard.
How many Circuit City? No, not Circuit
Dog.
City. What was it called? Tower Records? How many Tower Records did you go to?
Circuit Cities, Best Buys, just random ass websites. Eventually, I think I found it when I discovered eBay, and I bought it from a dude for $30. That's how bad I wanted it.
That's how bad you wanted it?
Probably an $8 CD. I bought it for $30.
And knowing, how old were you when this happened?
I was in my 20s.
You were in your
No,
20s?
I was in my 20s. No. No, well, because what did eBay
You couldn't
first come
Napster
out?
that?
What did eBay first come
Well, it
out?
probably wasn't on Napster.
I was older, but I don't think.
Were
I
you
was
out
in
of high
college. Was eBay made when we were in college?
Even when in college, eBay was.
It was
going
right
on
when
in college.
eBay first kind of like was picking up, and that's how I found it. So I think I was like 18, 19.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Okay.
That's not that bad.
All right.
I'm judging, but it's not that bad.
but no, there's actually a lot of Toonami albums out there. So Deep Space Bass is like kind of like the signature. All the like old school, like the Sailor Moon intro, the Powerpuff Girl intro one they had, Gundam. There's a lot of like good stuff on there.
I'll say this right now: we could legit have an entire podcast, and probably should.
We will have a Toonami podcast, and but like I don't know if I've ever met anyone who hasn't heard, known, seen any type of promotion, anything about Dragon Ball Z. Dog, my mom one time. This blew me and my brother away. My mom one time we were eating dinner and she joned on my dad. She said, "Yeah, you with your old Vegeta haircut."
Oh.
And me and my brother lost the. We were like, how the fuck do you know who Vegeta is?
I think there's a couple things that are just, we can acknowledge our facts now. One, Dragon Ball Z is one of the most influential pieces of Asian culture that has infused America. Yeah, you could, if it's not number one, it's 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Like, you probably are going to argue Pokemon's up there.
Pretty much the American anime fan base today owes it to Toonami and Dragon Ball Z because it was the introductory for a lot of people to anime in general. Dragon Ball Z, looking back on it, it wasn't the first anime I ever saw.
Yeah,
I think it was either Gigantor or Voltron.
Mine was Speed Racer.
It was Speed Racer. It could have been Speed Racer, but I think because I think it was Gigantor because Gigantor used to come on Sci-Fi. But for a lot of people, it's the first anime they ever saw.
And another thing I would say, and this is more my opinion, but I think it's pretty accurate. I would tie this with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood as the best dubbed anime of all time.
Whoa. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm throwing it out there.
Now,
I would tie it.
Hold on.
Okay.
Because I agree with you. Full Metal Brotherhood is probably one of the best, if not the best. Besides Cowboy Bebop, I would say
Yeah, you can argue Cowboy Bebop.
one of the best dubs of all time.
Yeah.
But which version of DBZ are you to? Because I think Dragon Ball Kai is an excellent dub. If you're comparing it with the one we grew up with the Funimation and the Ocean dub, I can't agree with you.
You know what? Let's go with Kai.
Okay.
Let's go with Kai. I think the nostalgia of the Funimation makes me appreciate that one.
Yeah.
But the memory of like the actual dub is Kai.
Okay,
So we
okay.
can go with Kai.
So, do you remember where you were and what episode where you first saw?
Oh,
Right.
bro, I can tell you vividly. I remember it to this day. It was 1995, and it wasn't Dragon Ball Z, it was Dragon Ball. I was 9 years old, so you can imagine on a Saturday, 9-year-old Niels There's only so many things he's gonna do. He's gonna go into the kitchen, grab the biggest bowl that he has, grab a box of Fruity Pebbles, pour half the box into the bowl.
Half the box?
Half the box, bro.
Your mom allowed that?
No, that's why you wake up at like 6 in the morning to do that. And you say,
know your mom, she was
where are the Fruity Pebbles? Now you have eaten all the Fruity Pebbles. Foolish boy, you have wheat thins now. From now on, you do not get any more Fruity Pebbles. I digress. So I go downstairs and I always start my Saturday I always had started my Saturday morning cartoons 6 o'clock in the morning. Put it on whatever basic channel it was. I believe it was Fox. And so what I would do is turn it on 6 a.m. and all of a sudden there was this random kid with a red pole whooping ass. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is my speed. Mm-hmm. Cool. He has a tail, he has a red pole, and he's whooping ass. That's what's up. And I watched it for a year, and all of a sudden it disappeared.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
And then a year later, I was 10, still had the same routine, came down, and it was 6 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden, the little kid got bigger, and there was an amazing intro. And I was like, oh, this just got cooler. And the adult one was getting his ass whooped by his older brother. And I was like, this show is great. And then he died, and then the show disappeared.
See, this is funny because
that's how I watched Dragon Ball for the first time.
I think this just shows how more detail-oriented you are than me, because I kind of don't know when Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z came into my life. It was around that time. It was like 95, 96. But like here's
Toonami wasn't the first time you saw it.
No.
Okay.
The first time I remember seeing Dragon Ball Z, it was on the WB.
Okay.
Which is now I think called the CW. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning, WB. Mm-hmm. But I think the first thing I ever saw was Dragon Ball, and I think I remember the first episode I saw was when Goku turned into the Great Ape.
Yeah, me too. That was the first one I saw.
That's the first episode you saw? Because I remember, I turned on the TV, and I remember it was when Bulma, Yamcha, and Oolong, I think they're like freaking out.
Yeah.
And then they show Goku, and he turns into the Great Ape.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? And then I remember I saw like 2 or 3 more episodes, and then I couldn't find it. I was like, where's that cartoon? So years later, like a year or 2 later, Dragon Ball Z. First episode of Dragon Ball Z I ever saw was when Krillin fights the Cybermen. No,
you
was
didn't
it
even
Krillin? Who fights the Cybermen? I think it's Krillin when
and actually wins.
No. So the first scene I remember is when Gohan, he can't keep up with the fight.
Yeah.
And then Piccolo's like, use your training. You can see them. That's the first scene I ever saw Dragon Ball Z ever. And again, like I was like, this is dope. And then like I couldn't find it, whatever. And then I, eventually I found it. But up until a couple years after that, I didn't realize that they were a connected show. Because
you didn't realize they were a connected show?
Because I only got like 3 episodes of Dragon Ball. And then, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't realize it was a connected show until not well into, but once I got into like Dragon Ball Z, I was like, oh, this is connected to this. This is and I was a little disappointed.
Can I stop you real quick?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that episode that you saw, Yamcha died. I'm pretty sure Yamcha got his ass.
Is that the one where he dies?
Yeah. He didn't last long with the Cybermen. Like, Cybermen came out, Cybermen killed Yamcha.
And he got
and then the rest of the series continued.
But, so yeah, that was the first introduction for me. But then, like, history, explains itself. We're here now. I fell in love. Somehow I found it. Toonami happened. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
But I guess, like, dog, what did DBZ like really mean to you? Like, why were you fascinated with this show?
Yeah, it's a similar theme to any show that I fell in love with growing up. Mm-hmm. They take a certain thing seriously. Cartoon where they took the fights serious, like the actual moves. Like the intro with Rock the Dragon, and I think the movie that they it's pretty much clips of Dead Zone.
No, so yeah, so Rock the Dragon, that intro, I think it's all like Dead Zone, Tree of Might, and The World's Strongest. And then I think there's a couple clips, small clips of Trunks and like actual episode stuff. I think Nappa, there's a Nappa clip, there's a Nappa clip in there, but for the most part, Rock the Dragon is all those first three movies.
And so, like, I had never seen a cartoon where you were straight up watching like the best fights I had ever seen. Like at that point, we just had Power Rangers. We had Hip Hop Keto. That was it. And so you were seeing some legit amazing fights. Like you'd have to watch old school Bruce Lee movies, and they still weren't going as fast as Dragon Ball Z stuff was going. So it was amazing.
I'll even argue that the first couple seasons, and even Dragon Ball, but the first couple sagas of Dragon Ball Z, they really focused on the techniques and the fight choreography. Not to take anything away from later seasons, but it was pretty much like fast fight, you know, instant transmission, disappear, blah, 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 blah. But like, you go back and you watch like the Saiyan saga, Raditz, you go watch the martial arts tournament saga, they're like legit fighting. Yeah. It's like block, kick, move, hold, punch, parry. You know, it's like
that was actually a big thing in the later series of Dragon Ball. Like when he started training with Master Roshi and Krillin, they were focusing on the fighting, and then the world championship, world tournament, whatever it's called. Like they were focusing on that as well too. So it really led up. Like for those, I mean, we weren't the lucky ones, but the folks in Japan were, and they saw like the focus of how serious they were taking the fighting.
So dog, for me, Dragon Ball Z, it like, I don't know, I was just attracted to the show. I was attracted to anime because, you know, we didn't get a lot of anime back in the day. Like the only anime that I remember that was on TV was Sailor Moon, which internet, you can hate me, I wasn't really into Sailor Moon.
But everyone else was.
Everyone else was?
I wasn't either. My sister loved Sailor Moon.
Dog, I fucked with Tuxedo Mask.
You did?
I thought he was a G.
Hold on, bro.
Dog.
We gotta talk for a second. We gotta talk about this for a second.
He'd be like, Tuxedo Mask. He throw that rose. And he land in the concrete. Come on, man.
Tuxedo Mask is the softest hero of all time. And by soft, I am by no means trying to talk about his sexual orientation or anything like that. I mean, the sucker was soft. Like, he was a little punk. This man would fight literally with roses. His fight move was throwing roses. His name was Tuxedo Mask. He's the softest dude in anime.
This dude would throw down with monsters, and all he would do
with a rose,
put a tuxedo on, and put a mask and a top hat on, and then throw a rose. Come on.
This man his name wasn't Tuxedo Mask. People were just describing what the brother had on. Tuxedo Mask.
I actually have a name. What's Tuxedo Mask?
He's like, I'm Rose Man.
I think, like you said, it was the fights, man. Like the fights were brutal. They were quick, and like I kind of got this feeling when I would watch Dragon Ball Z that like maybe I shouldn't be watching this, right? You know, like so. Just a little example, like one time when I was maybe like in 4th grade, I turned on the Sci-Fi Channel and they were playing Akira.
Yes.
And
I was watching it at the same time too.
They were playing Akira, and I was watching Akira, and then like some certain scenes happened, and I was like, I shouldn't be watching this.
Yes.
I have no business watching
Same
this.
thing happened to me.
And I turned the channel.
Same thing happened to me. That exact same thing happened to me, and it was Akira. And so my impression of Japanese animation was like, I shouldn't be. I'm not ready to watch this yet.
Exactly.
And it was that, and the other examples I had was Fist of the North Star. Like I saw Fist. I don't know how old I was, but I stopped watching it because I was like, I'm not supposed to be watching this right now.
Do yourself. It didn't go to the extreme as Akira did, so I was safe. I didn't have to panic.
I would say the only digestible, and I'm legit mean digestible for our constitution as children. But yeah, so like with Dragon Ball Z, it was like, oh, I can actually watch this and not feel like I'm going to hell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and from there, I just kept watching it, and the fights were amazing. The animation was amazing. And you really fall in love with the characters. You really do fall in love with the characters. Like, I love these characters.
Low key, one of the best. And it's crazy to say this. One of the best character developing shows ever.
And we're gonna get into that because that's a whole thing. But you had a couple questions that you wanted to ask us.
I do. The funny thing is, we have asked each other these questions for over 10 years, and we have never come to a consensus on most of them.
Oh my god!
But this will be fun. So, first question I have for you is your favorite saga.
Man, so first, before I say my favorite saga, can we just give a little, like, I don't know, prayer, little tip of the hat to everyone who had to endure seeing Goku fight Raditz, fight Vegeta, go to Namek, fight the Ginyu Force, all that shit, fight Frieza, see Krillin die, and then for years to constantly have when Krillin kills Frieza, we start over.
Frieza kills Krillin. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I guess Funimation didn't have the episodes yet. I don't know what, but bruh, like that's like, it's funny. It's like an inside joke with people in our generation. Like,
I vividly remember one of the episodes they stopped on, and it was after Goku beat what's his name, Kaboom, the big dude, muscle dude from Dragon Ball, or from Ginyu Force. Raccoon. Yeah. When he like punched Raccoon out, and then the two fast ones were just speeding by him.
Jason Birder.
It stopped on that. It had to be a year. It felt like a year.
It feels, dog.
You go all the way and like, new episode, no. And then you turn on the next day and you see Raditz.
And you see fucking Raditz.
I'm sure Raditz isn't like that bad of a character, but the trauma.
Yeah.
Because every time we saw him, we gotta wait 3 months to hopefully see a new episode again.
I'm with you 100%.
I hate Raditz so much.
I can't stand no fucking Raditz.
I hate Raditz.
I'm with you 110%. If I had to see Goku run on Snake Way one more damn time,
and he was on it for so long.
Oh man. But anyway, so
and he had to run back. I was so angry. Why?
Oh man, but so my favorite saga. So honestly, man, and so I'm gonna just say this right now, and I hope this doesn't sound like a cop out. This constantly changes for me.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I've been watching this series on and off for what, 15 plus years now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Kai definitely just changed the game on how you can watch and appreciate the show.
Yeah, because there's no filler. I personally think the dialogue and the writing in Kai is superior than the original Funimation and Ocean dub. That's how I feel. I think it's just a tighter series. Man, I would have to say, I think the Cell. Here's okay. I think the whole Android Cell saga is my favorite now, looking back on it, because people still had value besides Goku and Vegeta. You go back to the Android and Cell saga, dog, people are doing things. People are like, all right, you handle this, we'll handle this. They're splitting up. They're trying to handle situations. Dudes are trying to get stronger. Dog, people are taking precautions. Like, yo, Goku may not make it. How are we gonna handle this? Piccolo goes to Kami. Yo, dog, what are we gonna do? I know I don't fuck with you. You don't fuck with me. But
it got real.
It got real.
Like, Goku wasn't the answer.
And Goku wasn't the answer. Mm-hmm. And so, I don't know. It's a lot of fun. That I know they're different. Like, you consider the Trunks, androids, Cell different, but like that whole saga, I really, going back on it, and especially the way Kai did it, I really like it. I think that might be my favorite because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving pieces. Bulma's taking the bomb out of Android 16.
Yeah, man.
Krillin is rolling with Trunks to find Dr. Gero's lab. Like, everyone still has value. You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate that. And I think that's my favorite saga.
Well, if it wasn't obvious from my head nods and agreement, it's clearly my favorite saga as well. It's not even me breaking up the actual Android saga and the Cell games and all of Cell's ridiculousness in between. And the ridiculousness that is the story of Cell coming back as Perfect Cell. Like, there's some bullshit in the Android
Dragon Ball Z, dog. But can I just say real quick? Dragon Ball Z in itself is some bullshit, and we give it a lot of leeway as fans. Because, dog, Toriyama made Dragon Ball, like, oh, Toriyama, this is great. Hey, kid, you're going to be a star. And it's like, we need more. Oh, that green guy, he's an alien. And so is Goku. And he has a brother. Really? And he's like, yeah.
And he comes from Krypton. Vegeta.
No, Planet Vegeta. Oh. But, I can see like Toriyama like taking out drawings of Goku, like erasing Superman cape, like and he like goes to his meeting, he like erases the S off his chest and the cape off his back. It's like, yeah,
How'd he get there? He was on a rocket ship right before the planet exploded.
Yeah. And he's a Saiyan, and there's more of them. And Piccolo's the alien, because why the fuck not?
And we were all like,
yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Give us more.
But yeah, go ahead, my bad.
So yeah, the Cell saga was my favorite. There's a particular reason why.
Okay.
And it goes into one of my questions that I'll ask later.
Okay.
You already know what it is
All
and
right.
why I think the Cell saga is the best one.
Since we just established, and look, if you don't agree with us, please write in to our email, which is
popcultparent@gmail.com.
So if you don't agree with us, please, we'd love to hear why. And like, we're not saying we don't fuck with any other sagas, but the Android Cell saga was our favorite. But like, and I don't know this is what you're gonna talk about, but look, this is how it starts off. Trunks, dog. Trunks. Can I just say, okay, it took us 4 or 5 years to get Super Saiyan, right?
And we knew it was coming because it was literally in the intro of the cartoon.
I remember hearing rumors, and you gotta think, this is AOL dial-up internet. I remember like going to websites, finding pictures of Super Saiyan, Goku, and just like, all these sites. And so Super Saiyan was a big fucking deal before everyone can do it like that. And I remember seeing that Toonami promo with Trunks, and he turns Super Saiyan, and I'm like,
and he has a sword.
is this dude a bad guy? Who the fuck? There's another super, like, it was unheard of. It was unheard of.
I was so enamored with this guy,
Bruh.
like Trunks, and like it was always because of the intro. There was this random dude, dope jacket, uses a sword, and you're like, okay, he's actually smart enough to actually use a weapon in all these major world-defying fights. Although it's not a gun, it's a sword. I digress. And the first time we see him,
Frieza came back.
and Frieza came back
With a dad.
with a dad. He was stronger. and the first time we meet this dude, he comes on, I don't know how he comes, but he turns Super Saiyan 1. We've waited for years to get that.
And he has the audacity.
And Krillin didn't have to die. He just turns Super Saiyan.
Just go Super Saiyan.
And 2, he easily kills Frieza.
What the?
We literally watched for a year Frieza being the biggest
we waited
badass.
for years to see Goku beat Frieza.
Do you know before then, if Dragon Ball Z ended with the Frieza saga, you would argue that Frieza was one of the most powerful villains in cartoon history. Like he was hyped up for years.
I think he is.
Oh, okay, we can have that conversation.
I think
we can have that conversation.
Yeah.
I disagree. We can have that conversation. But at that point, he was the man or whatever anatomic being he is.
Bruh, can we real quick? Props to Frieza, because I think now with Super and everything, Frieza's getting his props, and we'll talk on that. But we had this discussion. Frieza's dad said, "Hey, let me talk to you, son. Come here. Come talk to Daddy King Cole for a second. What is it, father? Look, you can do anything you want in this universe. Don't fight 2 people. Majin Buu who is a demon genie monster, and Beerus, the god of destruction. A god. So, an evil demon and a god. Other than that, do whatever the fuck you want. Like, bruh, that's some G shit.
That's some G shit.
That's some G shit.
And he did do whatever he wanted.
And he did that.
So when we meet Trunks, he turns Super Saiyan. He has a dope jacket, because I gotta emphasize he has a dope jacket.
I tell you what though, in real life, in cosplay, I'm sorry, anyone who ever has been Trunks in cosplay, that jacket does not look dope in real life.
No, it doesn't.
It looks really dumb.
Some things are meant for cartoons and cartoons alone. I digress. He has a sword, and he kills, at that point, the biggest badass in cartoon history.
In our life, yeah.
In our lifetime at that
Yeah.
time. And his daddy. By himself. And then the Z Squad comes, and at that point I'm like, is he on our side?
Yes.
That is the question I am
Is he a
asking
threat?
repeatedly. I'm like, is he with us? Is he against us? I don't even want to know who he is. I just want to know, is everybody
Exactly.
going to die?
Exactly.
Like, what's good? Anyways, sorry I just hijacked your question. But we can go on to the next question.
So we love the Trunks Android Cell saga. I mean, just real quick before we move on, I mean, you get Gohan versus Cell, which is just like, do yourself a favor, go back and just watch that fight, the Gohan and Cell fight
Through Kai.
through Kai. Watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it in
It's
Kai.
so much better.
It's actually really fucking emotional.
It really is.
In the Kai dub.
Yeah.
It's like I kind of get choked up a little bit in the Kai dub, but go ahead.
Most intense fight. Or most intense death, I should say.
Most intense death. So let me think. Well, okay, I would say, I mean, from are you asking me like what I think from a series point of view, or just from me in general?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Whatever floats your boat, brother.
I mean, I would say at the time, Krillin's death, when Frieza killed him, because he was already wishback with the Dragon Balls, so that was it. He wasn't coming back again, which created Super Saiyan, and that's what sparked Goku's Goku. I think that people need to understand, like, Krillin means a lot to Goku, dog.
They've been friends almost their entire lives.
Even though Goku,
Only dude who could, for Dragon Ball, could keep up with Goku.
And I mean, Goku's an asshole. He does what he wants. He leaves his friends in the dust, but
Literally. Like they die in the dust, yes.
But Krillin meant a lot to him, and to see Krillin die, he snapped. He snapped. So, and he snapped the first time Krillin died, actually. I mean, I would have to say maybe that, because it led to so much.
My answer's a little different.
What do you got?
The most intense death I saw was Vegeta versus Android 19. That was the android with the little spiky head at the top and could suck the energy with his hands, his palms. And Vegeta turned Super Saiyan. This was like, I'm the Prince of all Saiyans once again, Vegeta. Cocky as Vegeta in the planet.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, you gonna suck
That was
energy?
another moment where they were like, is he on our side? What do we do? Like,
Vegeta's like, oh, you suck energy? Suck all the energy you want. And then the dude proceeds to rip his hands by pressing his feet against the brother's face and rips his hands off. And the dude is running away. He is a robot. And he is running from fear. He's like, oh, you have fear? You have fear, robot? And then kills him. Bruh, that was...
So let me ask you this.
I was scared for the robot.
So, are you asking me most intense or my favorite death? Because I have...
Yeah, it kind of turned into both.
Okay. Because Vegeta is responsible for one of my favorite deaths in Dragon Ball Z. And it's not even like a big moment. It's when they're on Babidi's ship. And they're going, like Goku fights, I think it's Yokon, the dragon monster or whatever. Well, Vegeta fights...
You know how I feel about Boo. But go ahead.
Vegeta fights the one henchman. I think his name is Pui Pui, or and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is 10 times Earth's gravity." Blah blah blah. And she's like, "Oh, that would have been a problem if it was maybe 100." And he like, it was that moment where he basically goes to him, dodges his blow, and puts his hands on his chest, and looks up and smiles at him, and just fucking blows him away. Like,
Savage.
such a like the audacity, the audacity.
So savage.
That's one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z deaths. And Vegeta's responsible for one more when he kills Burter.
Yeah.
After Goku wrecks Raccoon and Burter, and Vegeta knee drops Burter's neck. Mm-hmm. I was just like, damn.
And Chase is a real one. I don't care what anybody says. He was like, "Nah, this ain't for me, dog. Where's Captain Ginyu?" Yeah, Chase was a real one.
And
All right, next question. The best fight in Dragon Ball Z.
dog, best fight, Goku versus Vegeta. Not the first one.
No, I know what you're talking about.
The one where he's Majin Vegeta. I think that is the best animated fight, and the best, for Vegeta at least, the best emotional fight besides his fight with Boo, but we can talk about that. But like, I think from an animation choreography standpoint, that's the best fight in the series of Dragon Ball Z.
That's my answer.
Okay.
That is one of my favorite moments. That's the only thing about the Boo saga I like, to be honest with you.
Whoa. What?
I really don't like the Boo saga.
Wait a minute.
But I love that fight.
Hold up.
We've had this conversation before.
Well, bring it to the internet. So you don't like anything about the Boo saga but that Vegeta and Goku fight?
There's a lot that I do like about the Boo saga, but I don't like the Boo saga.
Let's just look, and I'll give you credit. Dragon Ball Z was supposed to end with Cell's death,
And that is why I don't like the Boo saga.
but let me say this: going back on it, I think you get, if you're a Vegeta fan, you get more out of Vegeta because of the Boo saga.
Okay, going back
Vegeta
to
had
the
the
best
whole
fight.
story because of the Boo saga. I think so. Vegeta is a whole realm, because let me just say, because
Is it because he hugs Trunks when he's under the spell and then decides to fight Boo?
Cell Saga, Vegeta, Goku sacrificed himself, and Vegeta says like, "I'm a warrior no more," blah blah blah, and he flies off. And then at the end, he gives Trunks to I think in Japan it's not peace, but it's like the victory or whatever. He gives him like the peace sign. Trunks gives him the peace sign back. And to think that that's it with Vegeta, it's kind of lackluster. I want more. Dog, Vegeta goes through so much emotional growth.
I think this feeds into my next question for you, so I'm gonna stop you right now.
All right.
And I'm gonna say that the Goku versus Vegeta Part 2 is my favorite because I legit, and how foolish of me to think this, but I legit was like, oh, Goku's not gonna make it. Like, Vegeta is serious, and he's going to kill him. And Goku, because of how Goku is like, he's not going to kill him. I was like, yo, this is it. Like, the show is over. Like, I don't know why, after all those years of watching Dragon Ball Z, that was the moment I was like, oh, this is it. Like, the show is over. Vegeta's about to take over the world.
So it's funny to think about and look at it. It's Toriyama's going to end Dragon Ball with the Cell Saga, but me and my brother have this running joke that Japan is just like, more Goku, please.
It's not a joke.
They can't get enough of fucking Goku,
It's not
right?
a joke. Yeah.
But so he creates the Boo Saga, but I just feel like, I gotta disagree. I just feel like Vegeta goes through so much growth.
Oh, well, okay. Well, let's do this then. The next question I have is, who is your favorite character?
Well, okay. So real quick, before we get into all that,
All my questions seem loaded. You're like, hold on,
you're
wait.
You're talking a lot of things, and I like, this is good. Okay, so you don't like the Boo Saga, that's fine, but like, dog, Vegeta, there's so many great moments I agree with you. It could get a little like, it get a little like fuzzy, but like there's a lot of like whack moments in the Buu saga. But like, dog, Vegeta's sacrifice.
Yeah, dope.
One of like the greatest moments in anime history.
Fully agree. Yes, fantastic. You really see like it's the entire arc.
Yeah.
It's such a great place in the entire arc of Vegeta. I agree.
Trunks, Bulma, I do this for you. And yes, even for you, Kakarot.
One of the Earth's greatest warriors has vanished in a blinding flash of light, having made the ultimate sacrifice for the sake of his loved ones. His name was Vegeta, a proud Saiyan prince.
Even though it's looking back on the series, it's a stupid form. Goku going Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah.
Dope moment.
Dope moment.
Dope moment.
Still don't like Super Saiyan 3.
So
there's a reason why he doesn't go back to Super Saiyan 3.
Dog, Vegeta's... Here's another reason the Buu saga is amazing. Vegeta's moment where he kills all those people at the martial arts tournament because he wants Goku to fight him, and he just, like, smiles at him. Mm-hmm. And all the people's clothes and dust are, like, blowing past them. Such a great... Such a dope...
So
the
real.
Animation, such a great moment.
You can't... The podcast world, y'all can't see me, but I'm doing the head
It's
back
great.
snarl that Vegeta gave
And then,
as destruction flies by him.
I'm just gonna say this and we can move on. Kid Buu, dog. Kid Buu is one of my favorite villains, and
You're one of the few people I know who loves the Buu saga.
no. Here's the thing. I really appreciate the things in it. Dog, the blue, don't get it twisted. There's a lot of downtime and just all right, can we speed this thing up?
I think at this point, I was focused on my SATs at this point. That was part of what the issue was with Buu saga.
My SAT score was horrible, and I don't know if it was because of the Buu saga, but also the Buu saga gave us Ultimate Gohan.
Yeah, yes.
Who Toriyama still did him wrong.
Yes.
But Ultimate Gohan was a fucking great character.
Yeah, the Buu saga has a lot of dope moments, and that is one of the dope moments. Still don't like the Buu saga.
Okay, all right.
Now, back to the question I asked you. Who is your favorite character?
So, again...
Actually, this is a two-part question. Who's your favorite character? And the other question I have for you is, who is Dragon Ball Z about?
All right. So, my favorite character has changed since I watched the show. Mm-hmm. When I first started watching Dragon Ball Z, my favorite character was Krillin. I was Team Krillin, Team Kame House, Team Solar Flare. Let's do this.
Turtle. You were
Right.
all about the turtles.
I was all about Krillin. Then I was a Goku fan. I like Goku. Then it was Trunks. Trunks was my man.
So everybody else.
No. Trunks was my man. I love Trunks. And then I saw Kid Trunks. Yeah.
It changed.
Then it became Piccolo, right? I love Piccolo. He's the best dad in anime history.
He really is.
He's the best dad.
Great dad. Yeah.
But to this day, and I think from now on, it's been Vegeta. It's Vegeta And it's funny because I had a discussion, and again, I wish my brother was here, man. I had a discussion with my brother. He has the only character development. Goku, for better or worse, has no character development. Goku is the same as he was as a kid. And even in Super,
Yeah.
he's the same character. He wants to be the best, he wants to fight the best, and he wants to go beyond his limits.
If anything, it is miraculous how in over 500 episodes of so many different shows, this man is ridiculously consistent.
And Japan allowed it. They allowed it. We could have had so many. Toriyama tried so many times to make Gohan the main character, and Japan, no, more Goku. All right. I'll step back. How about Goten? He looks just like Goku. He's small. Okay. Calm down. Hey, Trunks and Goten can blend together to make this whole new character. Bring back Goku.
and then they went extra and made him a kid again.
Made him a kid again in GT.
They're like,
but
like, what do you want from me?
But Vegeta has changed. He's grown. He has some deep, I feel like if you've worked for anything in your life, you can relate to Vegeta.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's entitled as hell, though.
But here's the thing: he's entitled as hell, but he's willing to work for it. Now, when he first, we can say Raditz and even Namek Saga, he wasn't, but he's the Prince of all Saiyans. That means something. And to be left behind by some fucking clown who, I'm Goku and I like to eat my wife's food and just fucking fight. And if I was in the Marvel universe, I'd give Thanos all the fucking Infinity Stones just to see how strong he can get.
You know he would. You know he would. He's like, no, I'll find them for you.
Wait here.
Do you know how to use it?
Wait here. Do you use the instant transmission and he find all the fucking stones?
Okay, you ready? Okay, now all my friends fight him first. And then I'll fight him.
But no, man, Vegeta just has so many dope moments. And looking back on it, I must say, if Dragon Ball Z was an American show, Vegeta would be the main character.
I don't even think that's a debate. I think that is the absolute fact. And it's interesting how the show is just developed and stayed its consistency, because I'm sure if you ask the majority of Dragon Ball Z fans, they will scream to the rooftops that Vegeta is their favorite character.
Yeah.
And it's the whole anti-hero thing. And it's the fact that he's a badass. Let's just call it what it is. He's a badass. So there was a 2-part question in this. Mm-hmm. Who are you saying Dragon Ball Z is about?
So if you talk about Dragon Ball Z,
because I think it's
I think you can argue
Dragon Ball Z.
I think you can argue that the series in a whole is about Goku, but Dragon Ball Z is Vegeta's story.
Okay.
This dude deals with the guy who destroyed his race, his family, his home. He has to see someone who he thinks he's better than, beat that person, constantly chase that person, and be outshined by that person. He has a son who he's not willing to not accept, but even care about, because that's not what Saiyans do. And then see that son get killed, and then go ham and not have even an effect on that person. I'm talking about Cell.
Yeah.
And then see the son of your greatest rival do what you couldn't as the prince. You were set to be the king of these people, and the son of some clown saved you. Mm-hmm. And instead of beating Cell, risked his life and injured his arm to save you. Mm-hmm. And Vegeta has just so many licks like he's been through so much, and just like, I mean, he's my favorite character, dude. And then to see, and I'll tell you what, his sacrifice was a big moment. But in the Kid Buu saga, when Goku's fighting Majin Buu, and Vegeta's just like reminiscing, and he's like, "You're the best, Kakarot. You're the best." Mm-hmm. I think that just means so much. He's real. He's like, "Yo, you're the best. Like, I'm at peace with it."
And then Broly comes. So to answer those questions, my favorite character, it's been consistent. I will say this, although like the show has shown me some amazing people, and there was a time where Trunks was my favorite character because Trunks was everyone's
He
favorite
just
character.
looked cool.
Yeah.
He just looked dope.
But my favorite character always has and always will be Piccolo. Piccolo is the man.
Batman. he's the Batman of Dragon Ball Z.
That's probably why I like him. First and foremost, Piccolo's a brother.
Oh, yeah.
He's swagged out. He's a brother. He's swagged out.
Piccolo's black. Our producer's looking at us like we're funny. Like, no.
Piccolo's a brother. I don't
here's
care
the
what that skin
Here's
color
the
is.
thing. You ask any other black person what race Piccolo is, they're like, oh, he's black.
Yeah.
He's black.
Period.
Why are you asking me this?
So, first of all, Piccolo's a brother. And again, we've already acknowledged the fact he's one of the greatest dads, if not the greatest dads of all time. But, like, it's the fact that, like, he kept it serious the whole time. Like, he acknowledged the seriousness in every situation.
Yes.
Like, this dude started the show off as one of the biggest bad guys in the world. And he was like, look, I'm putting it aside because that dude's a threat.
Can I bring it to I guess to relate? It'd be like watching Infinity War, and then the end game, Thanos is like, yo, I know y'all hate me, but something's coming, and we need a team up.
And that's how Dragon Ball Z starts.
Exactly.
So you got this dude who is like the supreme bad guy in the world. The only threat to Goku in the world is like, nope, that guy's worse. We need to come together because at the end of the day, I still live here. Again, a hero who is like, or a bad guy who actually acknowledges he lives on the planet and he doesn't want it destroyed. Rare, but dope when you see it.
Yeah. In fact, Toriyama said that Piccolo is his favorite character.
He has good taste sometimes. But like, there isn't much character development after the Saiyan saga with Piccolo. Vegeta comes up. He has. Let me continue. But anytime Piccolo gets some time to shine, he always shines.
He does.
He always shines. When he was with Nail, and he's like, yes, I got the power. Yes. Oh, this is amazing. When he spazzes out,
Nail, hey, you look pretty strong. Come here.
And was it 4-star? What are they called again?
Team 4-star.
Team 4-star. That is one of the funniest parts of Team 4-star. And Nail just randomly shows up.
Yo, yes. There's an inside joke in Team 4-star where the people who fuse with Piccolo stay in his mind.
Yeah.
Again, just go to Team 4-star and watch the series, but no.
So anytime Piccolo has a time to shine, he always shines.
Yes.
And that's just, it's like, I appreciate him and I appreciate like the dopeness that is him, and he's just never stopped being my favorite character. Now, who I think Dragon Ball Z is about, the thing with this, and we've had this argument many a times. This is just argument number 27, to be completely honest. I look at it very literally. And so in my mind, the show is about Gohan. Like, you start off seeing this little kid, son of Goku, random moments of showing spectacular strength. And the half of the Saiyan saga is about him learning to like at least show up and utilize some of his power just to even be a glimmer of what his dad is.
Yeah.
And then seeing his dad, pretty much like his adopted dad, die because of his failure, and then be on a journey to get his dad back.
Can I?
Yes, go ahead.
You asked earlier about one of my favorite deaths. It's not big, but one of my favorite like kills, I guess I'll say, is when Piccolo saves Gohan from that Cyberman, chucks him with one arm in the air, and then shoots a beam out of his mouth. Like,
so unnecessary.
Who shoots shit out of their
unnecessary. He had another hand. Why out of his mouth?
One of my favorite
And when do you see him do that again?
Yeah, one of my favorite moments in the series. But go ahead.
And so he goes, and then you actually start to see him acknowledge his strength, speed, and ability during the Frieza saga. And then when he comes back and he becomes the hero, he's the first Super Saiyan to go Super Saiyan 2. He takes down Cell.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Finally pushed to his breaking point by Cell, Gohan lets his anger boil over. Next, Dragon Ball Z Kai.
That ends. It feels like the culmination of something great. You finally see this kid become amazing.
Well, the original plan, like we said, the original plan was Cell Saga gets over. Mm-hmm. And then after that, they wanted, no, more Goku, please. Toriyama wanted Gohan to be the focus. Japan wasn't happy.
So, as you can imagine, for someone who thinks Dragon Ball Z is about Gohan, I really struggle with the Buu saga. Because that's when you're like, this show is about this guy becoming the hero, and all of a sudden he becomes a caricature of a superhero, and he doesn't defeat Buu.
And you know what? I will say this: the Buu saga does something in anime that I hate, or in just a lot of superhero or in general, is where like I don't know if there's a word for it. Why are you powering this person up for nothing?
Oh, like
You're hyping this person up.
Why do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have giant Megazords?
Yo,
why does Spider-Man have a giant Megazord?
And one thing that anime I feel like doesn't do anymore, but they used to do is like you would get people hyped up for nothing, and people would have these power ups or these weapon upgrades, and they would still get beat. And I was like, well, what was the point of all that? And I feel like Toriyama did do that with Gohan in the Buu saga. I can agree to that, but like I gotta say, man, but it's not the growth of Vegeta, the writing of Vegeta, what he becomes in the Buu saga, what he sacrifices in the Buu saga. It's worth it.
Oh, Mark, look, we're gonna be friends for a very long time. I understand that we're gonna have this argument forever. That being said, I think the show is about Gohan. I think they messed up with the Buu saga. Right. So we will move on.
All right.
So this is a question / topic, which is pretty much the importance of the Toonami intros. Mm-hmm. My question for you is, what is your favorite Toonami intro? And why do you think we love them so much?
So, I think I said to you one time that Toonami can make anything look dope.
Yes.
You give Tsunamis a fucking Gerber's baby food commercial, and they'd make it look like the dopest shit of all time.
This child, out of the womb, eating smashed peas, becomes the man that he always wanted to be. And Toonami presents My Baby Boy. Fridays. Every Friday. Holla. And it always ends with something black. Holla at a player when you see him. Goo gaga. Always some random black reference.
Dog, so real quick, I can't believe I haven't mentioned Peter Cullen used to do the Toonami.
Yes, bro. That's why
Optimus
it was so good.
Prime. Hey, dog, you know what's so funny? You can pinpoint the timeline. It was Peter Cullen. Oh, Michael Bay 2007 Transformers movies? No more Peter Cullen.
Yeah.
He costs too much.
He's worth every penny.
He's worth every penny. Yeah. But my favorite Toonami DBZ intro to this day is the Trunks Android Saga intro.
Me too.
That dog, that beat,
my favorite one.
that song is called. It was on Deep Space. I'm pretty sure it was on Deep Space Base. It's called Heavy.
Told you.
Oh.
And dog, I remember just like you see the Absolution come in, and then Tom, and you see, this can't be happening. We got to stop it. Like, dog. And then, like, dog, they just.
But my favorite part is when Vegeta's, I'm the Prince of all Saiyans once again.
Bro.
Dragon Ball Z.
Bro, you gotta think, like,
Loved it.
before the internet, before streaming, before you could find the subs, to see all those, like, we got it, and then to see Frieza as a half robot, I will make this whole planet suffer. Like, what the fuck is happening tonight?
This whole planet suffer! This can't be happening!
I am the Prince of all Saiyans once again!
After being so long without having new episodes, and then all of a sudden that's our intro, and we're like, oh, we're gonna see all of that.
Bruh, that, I think, that is one of Toonami's, if not best, top 3 best intros ever. I will say, for me, Dragon Ball Z wise, a close second. I really like the Kid Buu Saga intro.
Of course you do.
I like it a lot. It's pretty dope. The beat's sick.
The Buu Saga has some dope intros. Yeah.
Majin Buu stronger than anyone I ever faced before. But I know there's still a way to win.
So there's something that I noticed with the Toonami intros and promos and things like that. Once they got to the Buu Saga, they got cocky as hell.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like at one point they just kept it 100. They're like, the greatest action television show
Bruh.
in history.
You are not like, bruh. I remember it was when they were fighting the Doria. Right? We got to that point, but I remember I saw a commercial for Toonami, and they were like, the only cartoon where the bad guys are the underdog.
16 million don't lie.
Yeah, like, bro, they were feeling
It was 5 seconds long.
They were feeling themselves so hard. 16 million fans can't. Yeah, I'm just saying. They were acting like Kanye West before Kanye West. 16 million fans can't be wrong, bro. I'm just saying.
Bro, they were 5 second long. They showed one clip. They had the voice, and then they told you what time the show was coming on.
And then they had the nerve to act like they wouldn't. They're like, we'll keep showing it if you keep watching it. I'm like, oh, Toonami. Yeah.
We kept watching it.
But I knew, dog, I knew, this is off track, I knew Toonami could make anything look dope when they made the Hamtaro intro legit. For y'all to know, Hamtaro is an anime about hamsters. That's all I'm gonna say.
Me too. I was like, they need to be stopped. At that moment, I was like, they need to be stopped.
I feel like they're.
Why do I want to watch this show?
Why not?
Did you watch the show? Did you watch Hamtaro?
I watched a couple episodes of Hamtaro.
You did?
I did. Because the intro was
It's so good. I saw one episode.
But,
I ain't even gonna lie.
But before we move on, and I'll just let y'all know that like this is a lot of episode because we have a lot to talk about. But before we move on, I got a couple little like trivia questions, blah blah blah.
Oh, you want to touch a gangster? All right, brother.
No. So before we switch it to the next one, I got a couple little tidbits, little notes. So did you know that Super Saiyan, right? The only reason why it's blonde is because when Toriyama was writing the comic, his editor was like, "Hey, you can save a lot of money if you don't color in Goku's hair." And I guess, you know, the original manga. Do you say manga or manga? What do you
both.
What do you say?
I say manga.
You say manga?
Yeah.
Okay. The original manga.
Okay.
No, I'm fucking with that. But so they left it blank so they could save money
I did know that.
on inking. Okay, which was pretty funny. So when it comes to we were talking about
Doesn't explain the blue eyes, but please continue.
well, I figure, I guess in translation in the actual anime, they're like, hey, we got money now. Let's,
You're super powerful. You're an Aryan white man now. Yes,
I mean,
that is
dog,
how
Super
Japanese see it.
Blonde
You're
hair,
an
blue
Aryan
eyes.
white man
Yeah.
with gel.
But so the Android Saga. So apparently,
One thing my child will have to be explained if he ever watches Dragon Ball Z, first and foremost.
But who didn't want some blonde hair?
Not me. Don't let Cisco fool you, brother.
So we're talking about the Android Saga, right?
Yeah.
So I guess originally Toriyama was going to have 19 and 20
Yep.
be the bads of the series, and instead it was like, no, what the fuck, some fat pale mime and some old, no, you gotta do something, dog. So he made 17 and 18,
Yep.
whose names are actually Lapis Lazuli, which is a gemstone. Shout out to people who watch Steven Universe. Lapis Lazuli,
Yep.
it's a gemstone. He's like, no, you have these two fucking emo white kids. Like, nah, dog, come on. What's up, Toriyama? Made Cell. He hated Imperfect Cell. He thought he just looked too ugly. Mm-hmm. Made Semi-Perfect Cell. He thought he was a moron. Made Perfect Cell. He's like, all right, let's do this.
I knew that too.
Perfect Cell, probably one of my favorite bad guys in the series.
Mine as well.
Yeah.
And one of the few bad guys in Dragon Ball Z to just straight up not become a friend or villain, or not become a friend or ally. He just dies and doesn't come back.
So, if you've been sticking with us this far, we really appreciate it. We have so much to talk about. We're not done. We're bringing it. And again, bringing it more and more and more.
More fire.
Let's go. But we're gonna have to split this episode into two parts because if you continue to listen, we're actually gonna get into Super and the Broly movie that we just saw. So. What's up, pop culture fans? Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties at the end of this episode, but don't worry, because we're going to split this up into two parts. Tune in next time as we talk about the Broly movie and the rest of the Dragon Ball saga. That's my baby girl in the background, wishing y'all a good day and join the cult.